and welcome back to Katelyn's Realm, a place where I like to make it a cozy cove. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are coming back, glad to have you. I hope you all are doing well today. I'm doing pretty good myself. It was all green outside this morning, and now it is completely white. We are under a snowstorm warning, and it looks like it is hitting us right about now. So hopefully it doesn't get too bad. So today's topic that I'd like to discuss is stress. It affects so many of us, and it's something that I personally deal with more than I'd like to say. I'd like to talk about how it plays a role on our health and well-being, and talk about different techniques and strategies we can use to help lower our stress and manage it effectively. So here we are in January, second week, and most of us are still getting into the momentum of the new year and kind of getting out of that holiday phase. Just, it's winter time and everything seems hard and dull, not to be negative, but it just seems that way to me. So it's a new year, fresh start. We're all trying to turn over a new page. Ironically, December is said to be the most stressful month of the year. And so here we are, the holidays, December, we're all stressed. I mean, it's a great time of year too. It can be a very wonderful time. We can have a lot of fun, but there's definitely a lot of pressure, financially, socially, with family, and just a lot of different dynamics going on that compared to any other month in the year, December is the most stressful. And so here we are coming out of that into January, where we're trying to set new goals and just be better in our lives. I can't help but think that the intense stress that we were under over the holidays is like spilling over into the new year. At least that's how I feel. Stress management plays a huge role in our lives. It affects our relationships, our mental health, our physical health, pretty much every aspect of our life. And so if we could learn how to cope with it better and ultimately reduce the amount of stress we have in our life, every area of our life would improve. So I first want to go over how stress can impact us physically. And I've written some things down, so I'm going to refer to my notes here. So physical symptoms that stress can cause are headaches, upset stomach, chest pain, high blood pressure, sleep issues, muscle tension, muscle pain, weight gain, fatigue, memory and concentration issues, asthma, disease such as heart disease, Alzheimer's disease, and diabetes. Some major issues here. So stress shouldn't be taken lightly. So many people are like, oh, it's just stress. I'm just a little stressed, or I'm just dealing with stress. Stress is a huge deal. It's to be taken seriously because it can have major impacts on our health. Some emotional and mental symptoms that stress can cause are depression, anxiety disorders, worry, panic attacks, burnout, and it can encourage people to partake in substance abuse and addictive tendencies, and the list goes on. Something that I'd like to note is that it's not just the stress itself that's the problem, it's how we handle and respond to the stress. So before we get into some strategies of how to handle stress better, I first want to pose some questions for you to ask yourself, or you can journal about them. It might help give you some clarity onto why you're dealing with stress or what stresses you're dealing with, and just kind of get centered with yourself first. So number one is, what specific situations trigger stress? Number two, are there patterns in when stress occurs? Like, does it occur at the same place, at the same time, with the same person? Are there patterns? Number three, how do I react physically to stress? Note how you feel. Do you have an upset or tight stomach? Do you have a headache? Anything that you feel a physical symptom of, keep track of. Number 4, what are my current life and work priorities? Number 5, am I taking care of myself? Are you meeting your basic needs? Are you sleeping enough? Are you eating right? Are you exercising? Are you taking time for yourself? Number 6, do I have realistic expectations for myself? Number 7, how do I cope with challenges? Are there unresolved issues or conflicts? Number 9, do I have a healthy work-life balance? Number 10, what can I control? What can I not control? And what can I let go of? Number 11, whose feelings am I absorbing? Meaning, who around you are you soaking in the emotions of? Is it your friend who's upset about something? Is it your significant other who's stressed about finances? Everybody affects us in some way. And it's good to be mindful of who we have around us and how they're impacting us. Number 12, how is this stress affecting me? And this question applies more to a stress that we have a pretty clear idea on what it is. And so you can ask yourself, how is this stress affecting me? Number 13, will anything change if I worry about it? Number 14, what can I set down for now or for a season? Meaning, what is not necessary right now? What can you put down, give it a break, and come back to it another time? And number 15, how can I fill my tank, my metaphorical tank? These are all good questions to get you soul searching and brainstorming about what's stressing you out and what could help lessen these stresses for you. Additionally to these questions, I'm going to link an article from success.com of 23 questions to ask yourself when you're stressed out. I'll put that link in the description box below. It could give you more food for thought and just get you thinking more about what's bothering you and just to get in touch with yourself. It could help give you some clarity. All right, now I'd like to go over some stress management techniques that I like to implement myself in my life, and I personally have found they've helped me on many occasions. And I do want to note that one of the best things you can do for your health is manage stress. Okay, so I'm going to go down a list of ways to cope better and manage stress. The first suggestion is guided imagery. I don't know if you are familiar with this much, but it's basically a concept where you visualize something and practice viewing it in your mind the way that you'd like it to be. Meditation is a great way to cope with stress. Meditation can happen in many different forms. Progressive muscle relaxation. Close your eyes, visualize your body from head to toe, slowly relaxing every muscle and working your way down. It's a great relaxation technique. Deep breathing. Breathing is so powerful. Our breath, we're unaware of it most of the time, but when you become conscious of your breathing and learn how to breathe in certain ways, you'll be amazed at how much it affects the way you feel. Go for a walk. Simply going for a walk, moving your body, getting your mind on other things can help reduce stress in a lot of ways. I know it's hard to get out and walk around like this time of year in the winter time, but we can bundle up on days it's not so brutal, or we can go to the mall or a store or just somewhere indoors where we could do a little walking. And it's still very, very helpful. And if you have a gym membership or access to a gym, that's of course very helpful to utilize the equipment there, go on the stair climber, go on a treadmill. Even if it's only for 10 minutes, it's still beneficial. And I think you notice a difference. I know I do. Simply hugs from a loved one, that contact and connection from somebody we care about can play a significant part in reducing our stress. I like to say hold somebody for like 30 seconds and embrace, and you can really start to feel the effects of a hug. Aromatherapy is another great way to help us relax. I would definitely try it if you haven't yet. Some of my favorite scents are lavender, sage, sandalwood, lemon balm, or lemongrass maybe. Doing something creative, whether it's painting, drawing, creating music, doing a puzzle, crocheting, that can help reduce stress. And all the ones that I've mentioned so far are fast-acting stress relief strategies. They can be performed anywhere. They're free, and they can provide immediate relief. These next ones I'm going to mention are a little bit more on the lines of long-term stress relief strategies. Having a healthy, balanced diet. Now that's something that takes planning, takes time, takes intention. But if you incorporate vegetables, fruits, nuts, meats, have all the right minerals and vitamins, and just really focus on having a well-balanced, nutritious diet. So many people have expressed how much better they feel on a wholesome, balanced diet compared to the fast food, the easy stuff to reach for, the tastes good, comfort food, junk food. It's night and day difference. Setting time aside to do leisure activities is also super important. Whatever you find just truly enjoyable and fun, make sure to set time for, because too often we get caught up in work and to-dos and errands that we don't justify leisure time, or we simply just say, we can't afford that. So it's really important that we don't fall into that trap and that we still do prioritize leisure time. Positive self-talk, so important. I am guilty of this one. I way too often fall into negative self-talk. It's just, you think you're being realistic, but in all reality, you're just looking at everything glass half empty. Being very mindful of our thoughts, what we think, what we say to ourselves, plays a huge role in how our lives go. So please be mindful of what you're thinking and what you're saying to yourself and to others, and practice positive self-talk. Practice being kind and loving to yourself and others. Yoga and exercise. Finding time to do just 10 to 30 minutes of yoga or exercise every day ideally, but at least 3 to 5 times a week, there's huge benefits to that. Feeling gratitude. Thinking of things we're grateful for in our lives and the people that we're grateful for. Just feeling that sense of gratitude raises our immune systems and puts us in a more positive space. And the next ones I'm going to mention are more of a problem-solving strategy. It's a good idea to reassess your to-do lists, see if what is on them is really necessary, how important they are, how urgent they are. Just really evaluate everything. Obtain social support. Call up a friend or a family member, talk with them, join an organization or a club or a support group. Social connections are super important for our health and well-being. And cut out things that add stress to your life. This could be things like constantly connected to our devices, consuming too much caffeine, watching the news, drinking alcohol, and so on and so forth. Ultimately, we all need to find what works best for us in terms of coping. And the better you take care of yourself, the better you'll be able to handle stress and cope effectively. I'm going to link another article in the description box by helpguide.org, giving some suggestions on how to reduce and relieve stress. So some more stress management tips for you in there that I found helpful. I hope you found this video helpful in some way. I would love to hear your thoughts on stress in the comments below, how you felt stress has affected you in your life, and ways that you tend to cope with it, if you think they're positive ways or not so positive ways. I just love to hear your thoughts on the topic. If you're interested in checking out more of my content, please feel free to subscribe. And at that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you again soon, my friends. Much love.